Welcome back to Development Book Club. Today we continue with Facing Codependence. We will look today at the chapter entitled How the Symptoms Sabotage Our Lives. And these are the 5 symptoms we previously covered, which were difficulty experiencing appropriate levels of self-esteem, difficulty with functional boundaries, difficulty owning our own reality, acknowledging and meeting our own needs and wants, and being interdependent with others, as well as expressing oneself moderately. Okay, so these things all affect codependents internally, those difficulties, and then the secondary symptoms of them sabotage their lives. So the 5 ways that happen are, the first one is negative control, which is defined as when I give myself permission to determine for another person what he or she should look like, so that could be like how they dress or their body size, how they should think, feel, and what they should do or not do, their actions. This can also be letting somebody else control me, so in the opposite direction as well. Whenever I fail to determine for myself what I look like, think, feel, do, or do not do, and allow someone else to do that, I'm participating in negative control. Otherwise, so there's like positive control as well, which is when I establish what I look like, think, feel, do, or do not do. 3 exceptions to negative control are with very specific relationships. The first one is parenting, which should be respectful, moderate, and with a good reason influencing the child's reality because of the development cycle. As well as a therapist, because they're paid to sort of give their perspective, and then asking someone for an opinion is a third. And this idea of positive control is interesting because it says that the difference is that you establish for yourself what you want to look like, think, feel, do, or do not do. That seems a bit too black and white to me, because are we really free choosers of what we think we want to look like or wear or how we think or how we feel? Another story from the video. That's negative control. Number 2 is resentment, which is defined as the anger that you feel when you think someone has victimized you. It causes me to cling to a need to have the person hurt or punished to make up for the suffering that I think that he or she has caused me. The person I resent actually, in a spiritual way, becomes my higher power as I think obsessively about what he or she did to me and how I can get even. All the time recreating a sort of shame-filled or pain-filled episode in my mind, so sort of reliving that experience, which is not good. The need for revenge or punishment comes from the belief that if I can sufficiently punish the other person, I can keep this painful experience from ever happening to me again. Melody here takes a very magnanimous approach to transgressions against others here. I believe that everyone is conducting their lives, these are her words, I believe everyone is conducting their lives out of what they perceive to be the right thing to do for themselves. So very benevolent here. Our injuries from others are often the result of their need to take care of themselves rather than their desire to hurt us. This is sort of a very benevolent way of saying that people are just trying to get their needs met. Number 3, after resentment, is distorted or non-existent spirituality. And that is defined here as experiencing the experience of being in a relationship with a power greater than self that provides acceptance, guidance, solace, serenity, grace, healing, love, and non-destructive creativity. There are 2 manifestations of this in people with codependence or in codependence. They are difficulty experiencing a power greater than myself and difficulty sharing with others who I am or hearing who they are. Number 4 is avoiding reality. And this is familiar to most people. Addictions are the main concern here, which is defined as any process that relieves intolerable reality. Any process like that can become an addictive process. Substances and behaviors that relieve our distress become a priority in our lives, taking increased time and attention away from other important parts of our lives. I believe in treatment, they say that addiction it increases as time goes on, sort of exponentially. And Melody here suggests that alcoholism or drug addiction is highly comorbid with codependency, and that this should be looked at whenever someone's in recovery for substance abuse. She says, first become sober, clean, abstinent, whatever you need first, so that the feelings can come forth and be owned and looked at, and then codependency work can be used. In addition to addictions, another way that reality is avoided is through physical illness, somatoform disorders, she says, in the DSM. This is avoiding pain of owning our reality and not learning to appropriately experience and express our feelings, which produce many of these symptoms, which doctors can somehow, they find no cure to. So it's like psychosomatic pain, because the pain of the body is easier to deal with and treat than the pain of the mind. Also, mental illness. The idea here is that if I can live outside the realm of normally accepted reality, the horrible things I cannot face that happened to me in the past simply don't even exist for me any longer. And if they did happen, they no longer matter. All kinds of avoiding reality. And the fifth way that these symptoms sabotage codependence is in an impaired ability to sustain intimate relationships. Intimacy here means that I can share myself with you and let you share yourself with me without either of us trying to change who I am or who you are. And codependents really struggle with that, hence the issues with boundaries. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next time.